If you've tried overcoming your addiction to porn and fapping, but you're struggling to do so, I'm gonna tell you, after this video, you're literally going to overcome any urge. It doesn't matter how strong it will be, you're going to be able to withstand it. And I know that these things will work for you because they've worked for me too. I've not been watching porn in over 3 years now. I haven't fapped in over 1 year. But it has not always been that way. I know exactly how it is because I used to be there, literally telling myself every day with full conviction, I will not fap again. I will not watch porn. And then guess what? The urge kicked in and I was back there, feeling disgusted at myself, telling myself like, how the hell, like I literally told myself, and yet I fell back to it. And it was because I was simply doing a few main mistakes. I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't have the right kind of frameworks. Those are the things I'm going to share with you in this video. And once I started implementing those things, my life totally changed. It's very simple. The first thing I had to do in order to be able to overcome any urge was understanding that urges are actually nothing bad. Because I used to think, right? Why do I have to get these urges? Why can't I just not think about it? I used to think that the goal was to not think about, porn or not think about anything sexual ever again. That was what I was thinking, right? In order to be able to not do it, I just have to not get urges anymore. I thought that urges were kind of like my enemy. But urges are not our enemy. They are natural, totally normal. We just have to learn that an urge doesn't mean that we have to do it. It's kind of like anger, right? Anger is totally normal, it's totally healthy, it's totally natural. But you don't have to slap the person in front of you just because you're angry. You can control your actions, you can control what you do. And to really understand this, you have to practice it. And so there was one thing that I used to literally do very often, which was of practicing to withstand urges, to literally get myself aroused. And I don't think I need to explain to you how you can do that. And then just sit there with that urge, sit there and consciously, just not do it. Consciously let those thoughts go, consciously feel those feelings. I train myself into feeling the urge, feeling that energy, right? That was telling me, do it, but just looking at it, observing it and not doing it. So if you want to overcome the strong urges that will one day come up, right? I guess that you just like me very often have like very strong urges. You have to train yourself in a more controlled way to be able to withstand the stronger urges. Because if you're kind of like ready for them, when it will happen, you will already know how to handle them. So learn how to handle them in a kind of like controlled way. And then when they come up naturally, you will be able to withstand them. Now, the third thing I did that was really crucial was using more of my energy. Because as young people, right, we have a lot of energy. It's natural, it's normal. But most of us are not using it. We are sitting on our couch, playing video games, scrolling on social media and not really doing anything that uses a lot of physical or mental energy. And that's why that energy builds up. And what we have to realize, what I had to realize, was that an urge at the end of the day is just my sexual energy building up, either in my thoughts, right, having sexual thoughts, and then down there, right? And so to have less energy be able to build up, we have to use it more. And so what I did was very simple. I just, chose activities, things that would get me towards my goals, that would use my energy. And so I was using my energy in a more purposeful way, improving my life and having less urges, getting two things at the same time. So that's a very powerful thing you can do. And there is a question I want to ask you. What are those things that would get you towards your ideal life, that would use up your energy in a purposeful way? Start using your energy and you will see that you will have way less urges and way less powerful ones because your energy will have already been used. Now, the fourth thing I did that was very, very powerful was learning how to handle my sexual energy. Because as said, urges are just, first things first, natural, but secondly, sexual energy building up. And so what we have to understand is that we can make that energy flow again. It's kind of like a river where we have, let the water be built up. So what we have to do is to take away the barrier, let the water flow, and it will no more be a problem, right? We will no more feel the urge. So very practically, how can you do that? So I learned this technique in the book, The Way of the Superior Man. And if you want to know way much more detail how it works, I highly recommend you to go and read that book. But what I do is basically when I feel an urge, right? As said, it's sexual energy building up either in my thoughts, so I have sexual thoughts, or down there, right? And so what I do is I visualize energy, that energy having been built up, flowing in my body. I literally release it consciously and I can feel it being dispersed in my body, right? Flowing up and from my thoughts flowing down in my whole body. So I can really feel it now because I've been practicing this. I know this might sound like a guru bullshit thing, but try it out. And within a few times that you try this out, you will feel it. You will feel the energy that has been built up flow freely. And that's when you will feel more energized. And that's when you're going to overcome that urge, very simply, because you let the energy flow. And as said, I highly recommend you to go and read that book, The Way of the Superior Man. You will understand exactly how it works, how to do it, and why it actually works, right? So the fifth thing I did, and this is literally the one that played the biggest difference. If you do only one thing out of this all, the fifth thing is the most important one, was changing my identity. Because let's be honest, until we are not ready to let go of that old identity of ours, of someone who is struggling with it, right? Of someone who does watch porn, who does fap, until we do not let go of that identity, we will not be able to stop taking that action. Because it's very simple. We always end up acting in line with who we believe to be, right? With what we believe about ourselves. And so if you believe right now that you're someone who is struggling with it, who is still watching porn, who has a hard time breaking free from it, then guess what? You will have a hard time breaking free from it, and you will do it again and again and again. Once I clicked, I literally had that realization. I'm no more someone who watches porn now. That's when I broke free from porn over 3 years ago. And once I had the realization, I'm no more someone who faps. That's when I broke free from that. And since then, my friend, nearly 1 year passed, I haven't do it. And if I will not be hit on the head by something or something like that, I will not do it. I cannot do it. It's, I could, but I can't. It's so far away from the way I see myself. But here is the thing. And this is the thing that most people get wrong. You have to be willing to change your identity, because most people tell themselves, yeah, I want to stop watching porn. I want to stop, fapping. I want to be able to overcome my urges, but they're actually not willing to change. They tell themselves those things, but at the same time, they're not willing to, give up that pleasure forever. They're not willing to become the person who does not do it. And so I have a question for you. Are you actually willing? Are you willing to never do it again? Are you willing to become the person who doesn't do it? Are you willing to let go of it completely, fully? No exceptions anymore. No going back. No more your old self. You have to let that person die. You have to become your new self. Once you do that, you're no more going to struggle. But if you're asking yourself, well, how do I actually do it? Well, first things first, as said, it's about really being sure that you're willing to become that person and that you're willing to let go of that bad habit. The second thing you have to do is then defining the person that you want to become. In this case, someone who doesn't fap, someone who is able to overcome his urges, to control himself. And then third thing, well, it's very simple. It's about reconfirming and really putting in the work. And you do this in two ways. First way is taking action. And if you follow the 4 steps that I mentioned earlier, you're going to take the right actions. And then secondly is by reinforcing that new identity. So every time you're actually there and you are maybe, practicing to overcome the urges, and you do it and you're able to actually withstand them, then you tell yourself, well, I'm actually becoming that person. I'm no more someone who faps. I'm no more someone who does it, right? And then one day you have to give this enough time, give this enough practice and actions and reconfirmation. You will actually click. And once that happens, you will no more go back. You will be literally free from it, fully able to overcome any urge. It doesn't matter how strong it is. I don't do it. I can't. Like, it's so far away from the way I see myself. I learned how to handle it. I learned how to let my energy flow. So I have all the tools. And the most important thing is I'm no more someone who does it. I'm no more that person. And so it's actually very simple to not do it. It's actually way harder for me right now to do it. It's so far away from the way I see myself. So that's the ultimate trick. Now, if you have any further questions, or if you want my personal help with anything, you can get it totally for free by either commenting down below your question, or you can book a free coaching call. You have the link in the description down below. So just another way for me to help you out. I will solve the problem that you have and yeah, get you towards your goals. I wish you all the best. I hope these 5 steps will help you out, and I'm sure they will, because they literally got me to break free from it completely. So wish you an amazing day. Hopefully see you soon. Ciao.